names in here. There's one or two new ones to kind of look out for. We'll point them out. Aaron Brown, very experienced Canadian on the outside. Was at the World Relays with De Grasse. Lots of guys went there to help the teams qualify for the World Championships later this year. Those World Relays were in China. Kenny Bednarek, though, will be concentrating on Grand Slam, and why not? And he's been running quick. 19.84 in Miami in this event. Has won it both times. Can Hughes get on terms? He ran in Atlanta recently in a straight 200 meters where he ran 19.55 with a very slight following wind. That's his slight, just slightly over the limit. But that just shows where he's at the moment. De Grasse will be trying to hang on to the two of them around that bend. He's in lane 5. Decent lane draw for him. The 21-year-old Jamaican, Bryan Levell, only once under 20 seconds, but that's a great thing to do. His next best after that is 20.34, so he kind of wants to get more consistent in that low 20-second mark, the young Jamaican. On with Zarike, and is in lane 3. Mentioned this, tricky. 3 inside lanes here. Ran the 100 in those games in Atlanta, got beat by Sambine, and everyone's been getting beat by Sambine this year. Christian Coleman, like you, Anson, saw him yesterday practicing at the start out of lane 2, just trying to get familiar with this. 100 meters, of course, by far his best event, but he's no slouch at 200 on his day. And then Christian Miller, 19-year-old, just a couple of weeks ago. He actually beat Christian Coleman in Tokyo in the Grand Prix just recently, over 100 meters. And it'll be interesting to see how he goes at the longer sprint here. He's not known as much at the 200. So Brown on the outside. Kenny's in 7. Hughes is in 6. De Grasse is in 5. Anyone else going to get involved? What about Christian Coleman all the way in lane 2?
I'm thinking all Kenny right now, man. What's he going to do? And Zarnel, is he going to show that he's got something?
Might just have a breeze on the back of the athletes down the home straight. Could work for them.
Set.
There's a little twitch from Hughes, but he got away, but Kenny's got away strongly as well. And in fact, Kenny Bednarek has taken a meter out of Zarnel Hughes round the top bend. Aaron Brown has had to watch him glide past him. Look at Coleman in lane 2. He has come to the races here. Can he maintain? No, no, no. Here goes Kenny, away and gone. Kenny wins it, 1993. Another great performance. It's just been taken to 1995. Daylight. In fact, almost a week between him and the rest. Never mind a day. It was
He said a week.
So far ahead of everybody.
1995 on this track is absolutely ridiculous, man. Like I said, I saw him do those turns yesterday effortlessly, making up the stagger on Aaron Brown within the first 20 or 30 meters, which is a testament to the speed around the turn, because Aaron Brown is actually a really good turn runner. So I know Hughes did what he could. You know, he saw him for the entire race, literally. Was behind him and saw him for the entire race. But did what he could. Kenny got in the straightaway and just, no one's going to catch him by that point.
To try and explain this, because Hughes is running very, very well, but he's half a second behind.
The men's 200-meter final at the Grand Slam meet became another defining moment in the 2024 track season, with Kenny Bednarek putting on a performance that reinforced his elite status. Known for his explosive power and unshakable form, Bednarek stormed to a commanding win in 19.95 seconds, leaving his competitors with little hope of catching him. As the athletes settled into their blocks, the race promised fireworks, featuring a fusion of seasoned veterans and hungry newcomers. Occupying the far lane was Canada's Aaron Brown, an experienced sprinter who recently helped Canada qualify at the World Relays. Just inside him, British speedster Zarnel Hughes, fresh off a wind-aided 19.55 in Atlanta, lined up in lane 6. Olympic gold medalist Andre De Grasse was back in lane 5, hoping to reassert himself. But all eyes shifted to lane 7, where Bednarek, already a 2-time Grand Slam winner this season and fresh off a 19.84 in Miami, was ready to dominate. Closer to the inside lanes, Jamaican youngster Bryan Levell settled into lane 4, still working on consistent sub-20 times. Another Jamaican talent was placed in lane 3, while lane 2 featured a surprise entrant, Christian Coleman, typically a 100-meter ace known for blazing starts. Completing the field in lane 1 was 19-year-old Christian Miller, who had recently stunned Coleman in the 100 meters in Tokyo and now aimed to test himself over the half-lap distance. At the sound of the gun, Bednarek launched out of the blocks with immediate intent. By the 30-meter mark, he had already started reeling in Brown, a dangerous sign, given Brown's proficiency on the bend. Hughes attempted to stay in range, and Coleman showed unexpected sharpness, but Bednarek was simply untouchable. By the time the stagger unwound, it was clear he was in another gear, gliding into the home stretch in total control. What transpired next was pure sprinting mastery. Bednarek crossed the line in 19.95 seconds, a full half-second ahead of his nearest challenger. An eternity at this level. Hughes looked solid but was never truly in contention. As one broadcaster quipped, this wasn't just a win by daylight, it was a win by a calendar week. Splits revealed a 10.33 opening 100 meters followed by a blistering 9.62 closing stretch. Though not his lifetime best, the mark was hugely impressive given the headwind and early season form. More than the time, it was Bednarek's apparent ease that startled viewers and analysts alike, a bad omen for those planning to stop him this season. His emphatic victory now reshapes the conversation around this year's 200-meter battles. With major stars like Noah Lyles and Letzel Tebogo either yet to compete or temporarily inactive, Bednarek now finds himself in pole position. His body language, stride, and finish all screamed readiness. Some speculate he may even be saving energy for the 100m race scheduled for the following day, an event that could see him square off once again with Christian Coleman. And though Coleman is revered for his explosive starts, Bednarek's newfound acceleration over the first 50 meters could spell trouble for him. The next big question: whether Lyles will enter the Grand Slam fray in Los Angeles, setting the stage for an epic clash. Track fans are salivating at the thought, the reigning world champ versus the man who looks like this year's breakout star. As the World Championships approach, sprinting storylines are intensifying, and Bednarek is driving the narrative. At this point, his 19.95 performance isn't just a win, it's a declaration. Kenny Bednarek isn't simply in the mix. He's setting the pace, dictating the terms, and announcing himself as the man to chase in the 200m. If this momentum holds, the sport may be witnessing the rise of a new sprint king.